You're listening to 1015 KOCI LPFM Newport Beach, Costa Mesa. Welcome to Sunday Brunch, underwritten by Classic Yacht Excursions and on the web at classicyachtexcursions.com. And now, the hosts of Sunday Brunch, Tom Johnson and Lynn Selich.
So get out there and support that. The other thing, well, I've got a couple more things, but we'll come back to that because I want to welcome Mario on.
Mario's here. Mario Marovic, owner of the Wild Goose restaurant on 17th Street. He's also the owner of Malarkey's. And before we talk about anything else, Mario, I want to talk about the World Cup. I'm sure as a restaurant bar owner that sets up TVs all over your place, you couldn't be more thrilled about what's going on with this World Cup.
This has been the biggest World Cup in history. I mean, it's like superseded soccer. It just becomes this whole America pride. We love our country. People show up with American flags wrapped around themselves, and we start every U.S. game and end it with Bruce Springsteen's, Born in the USA, and
That's
everyone
awesome.
sings along. It's just you cannot explain the energy in the room with the World Cup this year.
I've got to tell you a funny story. I swung by Wahoo's Fish Tacos the other day to pick up some lunch, and unbeknownst, I knew it was going on, but I wasn't thinking. And I went and I put a placement for an order, a takeout order, and I went around to sit down. I'm over in Fashion Island, and the bar's going on. The place, has plenty of people in there and everything. And all of a sudden, the restaurant lights up. I mean, screaming everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to stereotype any people. Many people that are looking for initial jobs or whatever end up starting in kitchens. And it was Mexico playing. And again, I apologize because I'm not trying to stereotype. But when this eruption went on, the entire kitchen came running out to look at the TV.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I realized Mexico was playing and they had just scored to advance in the World Cup. And it was one of the most thrilling things I'd ever seen.
Well, soccer's
They were actually playing Croatia.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Okay, sorry.
For Croatia.
Sorry.
It was all the Croatian guys.
Sorry,
they were
but,
like, they were running. Well, it's funny because when Mario just had the Luau last weekend.
And we want to talk about that because it was a great fundraiser. But
right, it was a great fundraiser in the parking lot there at Wild Goose. But at the beginning, of course, the soccer game came on right about the same time that your Wild Pig came out for the Luau, which was really cool. But when the game started, the national anthem played, and everybody at the Luau, at the Wild Goose Tower, and out in the parking lot under the tent, put their drink down, put their hand over their heart, and everybody sang the national anthem. And I swear, it gives me chills now. And it was so neat to see the crowd at the Wild Goose Tower, and nobody was ignoring it or anything. It was really, really cool. I wish I would take
you know what's great.
Great energy.
You know what's great about the World Cup, and I've never been a soccer fan. I would tell you I am now. My friend Andy Theodora, who's from Cyprus, that runs the Newport Dunes.
Cyprus, as in Cyprus, not Cyprus here in California.
Not Cyprus here.
No,
by Greece or whatever.
Right.
He's a huge soccer fan. He's been trying to get me into it, but the World Cup has really gotten me there. And the cool thing about the World Cup, and Mario, I'm sure you see this, is being born in the United States and everything. Obviously, I'm rooting for the USA. It's a great story to make the round of 16. We play Belgium on Tuesday, and I want to talk about what Malarkey's and the Wild Goose have planned for and everything like that. But it's also the fun kind of thing, like you're Croatian.
I was born in California, but my parents are from Croatia.
Okay, so you're a Croatian fan when Croatia plays. As soon as Croatia gets knocked out, all of a sudden your allegiance can switch to somebody else. I mean, I find out, I've never been to the Netherlands, but I'm half Dutch, and so I'm pulling.
So you're gonna be watching today, right?
Well,
it's gonna be over by the time.
I'm pulling for the USA. I'm pulling for the USA, but if the USA does get knocked out, then I got to find my secondary team, and it'll probably maybe I'll go to the Netherlands because that's where my family's from.
Is that the orange team?
Yeah. But it just makes it a great event because you're never really out.
Well, so tell us what's going to be going on Tuesday.
Well, the Netherlands beat Mexico about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, geez.
So, congratulations.
Okay, now you know what color you're in.
We're advancing to the 8.
There was a little moment of silence there. I'm like,
what was the score? What was the score? Just out of
Checking
curiosity.
the score.
I think it was 2-1, and it was
2-1. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
it was
close
actually
game.
and it was a last-minute win.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
Wow.
Well,
So that means on Tuesday. So who's playing on Tuesday?
Tuesday is Belgium and the United States.
Okay.
And let's take your places one at a time. If somebody comes in at the Wild Goose on Tuesday, I believe the match starts at 1.
I believe it's 1 o'clock game.
Okay,
yes.
okay, so somebody comes in, tell us what they'll find, full luncheon menu. I mean, are you serving, apple pie or anything for Americana or anything? What are they going to find at the Wild Goose? And then we'll move on to Malarkey's.
The Wild Goose is a American tavern. It's an American so hunting lodge themed tavern with American food and burgers and sausages and salads. And so we serve a full lunch menu every day. And then these World Cup games have just been so great for business. People come in and the camaraderie and the energy in the room. It's just a fun place to come in. You watch the game and you eat some good food and have some beers with your friends and just enjoy the game. And like Tom was saying, you really can't explain the energy in the room, the camaraderie and the love in the air.
And I will tell you, if the U.S. scores first, you will be able to hear the Wild Goose all the way down 17th Street because people are taking this like they've never taken it before in soccer.
I've heard that there's this just horrible flu going around, and it's supposed to hit on Tuesday morning. So, if
a lot of people were calling in sick for sure because the last game was at 9 a.m.
Oh yeah.
And we were at occupancy at 9 a.m.
Oh my God.
Well,
on a weekday.
It's funny. I mentioned Andy Theodore a minute ago at the Newport Dunes.
Yeah.
Andy this year brought in, I think, 4 flat screen TVs to put in the back of his restaurant. To keep his whole staff entertained so they can keep up every time they can walk into the kitchen or whatever. They can get up. So they're actually quicker because they want to run out and get the food out so they can get back into the kitchen and watch the
There might be like
match.
a paradigm shift in the restaurant industry.
And Malarkey's is just a great place to go and have fun. And I imagine the World Cup just makes that place even more fun than ever.
Being an Irish pub, you kind of already have that kind of soccer focus because you think, British pub, Irish pub when you think of soccer. And on the wall, we actually have a meter that measures the sound level during the game. So when they score, you look at the wall and there's things like all the way to the right, the red lights blinking, and it's just so cool to watch that thing during the game. And the TVs and the surround sound are great.
I don't know if I think I told Lynn this, but I went to Ireland a few years ago to play golf. We toured around Ireland. It was great, bunch of guys, and. You walk in the sports shops over there, and it's not like walking in and seeing the Oakland Raider jerseys and the Ram jerseys and, buy your favorite Major League Baseball. It's all about soccer, it's all about soccer over there and all these wonderful club teams in Ireland and things like that, and their loyalty is just amazing.
They call it football, though. I think.
Yeah, that's one of the mistakes.
But it's soccer, football.
So about 16 years ago, when Croatia played Germany in the semifinals, they said Croatia had 4.5 million citizens, and Germany had 6 million pro soccer players. So the other day, when the U.S. played Germany, I Googled it, and there's 6.6 million soccer players in Germany.
No, so they were
29,000 soccer clubs.
So
my God.
So Mario, explain this to me. Are you a soccer player at all?
I'm not, but I'm a soccer fan.
Okay, so how does a country like the United States that has just this huge amount of people to draw on, and yet they can play with somebody like Croatia, and Croatia can go out and beat them?
It's the U.S. has football, basketball, baseball, and they got these high-paid sports jobs. And imagine if everything we had was focused on soccer. That's it, soccer. Imagine the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NBA playoffs, everything combined into soccer. You're going to get
that one sport.
The one sport, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I think that I have been a football, baseball, basketball fan.
Golf.
Everything Americana.
Right.
But this World Cup has really changed my mind on things. We're talking to Mario Marovic. I want to come back and just take a couple of minutes and talk about your expansion efforts. We're going to come back live at Explore Ocean after this. We're back at Explore Ocean, and we're talking to Mario Marovic, and we've talked so much about Malarkey's and the Wild Goose and everything. Mario actually owns another restaurant, a Mexican restaurant up in Florida.
Yep.
Fullerton.
Fullerton, California.
My mind. Anyway, Fullerton, California, and he just showed me a picture because we were talking about the Netherlands-Mexico game, and you have a Mexican cantina there, and it was jammed wall-to-wall. What's your Mexican cantina?
It's the Matador Cantina in downtown Fullerton.
Oh, that's great.
That's a great area.
He had a photo photo shot to him, and it is packed at that place.
9
It just
o'clock in the morning.
goes to show you what the World Cup means.
It's like everybody's looking at the screens, and I can't believe that's 9 o'clock in the morning. It looks like 9 o'clock at night. That's awesome. Well, good. Well, so I brought up earlier the Luau that you had last weekend.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about, what that was about and who you guys were supporting.
The Luau is a great charity. I mean, it was a great event.
You do it every year.
We
That's
do it
the
every
second
year.
annual. Mm-hmm.
We've done it for about 10 years. We started at Landmark Steakhouse when I owned Landmark. Started in 2005. And after we sold Landmark, we opened the Wild Goose the same year. So we kind of kept the tradition going. And every year we sponsor a different charity. Last year it was the John Wayne Cancer Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
And this year it was Boys Hope, Girls Hope. And Boys Hope, Girls Hope is a boys and girls home. Mostly Newport Beach residents started the charity, and they're the donors, and the home's in Fullerton.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a 100% success rate in taking boys and girls from grade school and getting them into college.
So it's all the way. They just follow them all the way. And they're foster kids, basically, or they're just in the group?
They're kids that are they're great kids that are in a bad situation, and they kind of identified that you got to remove them from the situation. So they take complete control of the kids, they get them away from the families, and literally the new homes become their family.
Yeah.
And it's just a great charity, it's a great cause.
So unlike foster home where they're the kids are set free at 18, they basically just try to get them into college and all the way through no matter what it takes.
Yeah, they go to a variety of high schools. They go to Mater Dei, they go to Conley, they go to Servite, they go to some of the public schools in the area. And when you go to these events, they bring the kids in and you meet them and you hang out with them, and we bring them in the Matador, we bring them into Malarkey's for breakfast, and we treat them, and then you watch them grow over the years, and you watch these introverted children that come out of their homes, and by high school they're so extroverted and they're talking, they're confident, and they get into college, and then you see them years later, and they're these great civic leaders in the community, and then they're giving back.
I love that.
You know what I like is I like the fact that even though you said the boys. The
Boys Hope, Girls Hope
is in Fullerton?
The homes are in Fullerton, but the organization's based in Newport.
So what I like about it is we realize here that we're a donor community. We realize that
very philanthropic.
We're very philanthropic. We've had success here and everything. And Mario, you're a leading example of that on the front end of this. But for us to find causes, and they don't have to be a cause necessarily right in our backyard. It can be another something in Orange County. It can be something on a national level. But Newport Beach and Costa Mesa always seems to step up and lead the charge.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, we're lucky that way. I mean, and I think we all benefit from it. I know that anything that I've ever done on a charitable, level, I feel like I'm the one that benefits because it really does bring things back to basics.
Well, you think about it. If these kids get no attention, and they don't have somebody like Mario and his businesses coming in to help through donations and things like that, where are these kids going to be in 10, 15, 20 years? That we're going to be paying more money then to keep these kids off the streets and things, but by showing them some care and some love now and showing them that they
matter.
They are cared about, and that this is important, to live a good life and everything. And that's what you're doing, Mario. And we congratulate you on that because you do such a great effort. And I think the thing Lynn and I are very excited about is you do that through the Wild Goose on 17th Street. You always also have Malarkey's, but you are expanding to some, you're kind of taking over McFadden Square. Tell us about what's going on down there.
A lot of fun stuff is happening now. We're opening up a gourmet deli, an East Coast themed deli where Original Pizza is in McFadden Square.
Yum.
Where the existing TK Burgers is, we're opening up a taqueria.
Yum.
And on the ocean front, we're relocating TK into what was Perry's Pizza with ocean views and beer and wine, and you can see Catalina Island in the pier, and
because TK's really does. I mean, they have one of their best burgers I think around.
Yep. And then the District Lounge, which is formerly the Stag Bar, is getting reconcepted back into the original Stag Bar. We're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of when it was established in 1914. Including an expansion into the liquor store. And
I was going to say the 100-foot bar or whatever.
100-foot bar is important too, Tom. But we're also opening up a pizza kitchen within the Stag Bar, and it's just a lot of history there. It's like the existing bar from 100 years ago, the existing woodwork. It's just a lot of history in McFadden Square. The buildings are old, they're brick, they're just a lot of history.
I don't know about you guys, but I spent a lot of time in my what's the word? My
years.
formative years.
Aren't you still in those?
After when I turned 21, and with the Blue Beat and all of the places that are down there.
Sneaking in and seeing Sid.
Oh yeah, that's right, Sid.
The Blue Beat and Sid Steakhouse back in the day.
Well,
Boy,
Mario, you're a great supporter of ours, and we hope people will remember that. If you're out and about, if you need to find a place to go enjoy the World Cup.
Have a great breakfast, have a great lunch, have a great dinner.
Why not the Wild Goose or Malarkey's? If you're, the food is great at the Wild Goose. Malarkey's is always, like I said, one of the most fun places to go. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. We appreciate you giving back to the community. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tom.
always.
Thank you, Len.
Yeah, good to see you, Mario. Thanks so much.
Isn't it?